Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's feature event. The League Zero Formula 3 League goes to Donington Park Raceway for another action-filled evening. These guys are always putting on the best show on and off the track, as we saw last week at Hockenheim Ring. Russell Soto able to put it on top in the feature race. But it was all about Brad Tritton bringing home the win at the end of the night. Put on a fantastic show, scoring some much-needed points. Speaking of points, let's take a look at what we have so far. As after round 3, Russell Soto is still out front, charging hard. Brad Tritton and the Oversteer Racing Team machine moves into second. Raymond Aguilar in third, as he represents the Track Limit Performance Team. The Constructors' Championship also really shaping up. You still have Mercedes-AMG pretty far in front with 155 points. Team Oversteer with 91 points. And the Track Limit Racing crew, third in points with 75 points. But don't let that fool you. There's still plenty of racing left in the season, as all of these drivers are still chasing their individual championship as well as the Cup Championship. Now that single car qualifying is coming to an end, let's take it to tonight's grid. Starting on pole for the feature race tonight, a 45-minute maximum length race, 28 laps. The top 8 drivers score points tonight. You've got Russell Soto starting on pole. Brad Tritton will be starting second on the grid in the number 26 machine. Raymond Aguilar starting third on the grid. Nick Peterson starting fourth. Chase Small will be starting 5th. Ryan Thibault starting 6th. Derek Guthier starting 7th tonight on the grid. We've got John Kasai in the number 3 machine starting 8th. Jared Ziegler, the number 57, will be starting 9th on the grid. Pete Renger starting 10th. Antonio Bianchi starting 11th. Norman King, the number 28 machine, will be starting 12th tonight. And then you've got Hunter Graves, number 37 machine, starting 13th. Marshall Newton starting 14th. Levi Opitz starting 15th tonight. Gareth McAllister starting 16th. And then Chris Morrill will be starting 17th. But away we go for tonight's feature event at Donington Park. What is going to happen here today is you've quickly got Russell Soto, Raymond Aguilar going side by side into turn 1. They're going to make their way around the right-hander to turn 2 before hitting that left-hander of Craner curves. As right now it's Aguilar and Tritton side by side. Aguilar gets a little bit off track before diving into the old hairpin. Right now it's Soto first, Aguilar second, Tritton third. And it looks like we may be getting away pretty clean here so far, as the rest of the field behind him stacks up single file. Looks like Tritton's going to make a move on the inside against Aguilar. Can he make it stick? He does. Aguilar will shuffle back to third place in the number 83 machine. But Tritton is not going to give him a break here. He's going to try and catch that draft and see if he can make something happen. Going into the S's, a very sharp left and right-hander to get back out there. As we have one car very far off track, that's Chase Small, Jared Ziegler, Peter Renger, and look at that! There goes Tritton! Tritton involved, Aguilar involved. There's carnage here in the feature event. We've got several cars taken out of the race already. Let's grab you that instant replay. You're watching Chase Small, the number 5 machine. Let's see what happens here going into the S's. A little bit of contact, and then drivers going everywhere. Chase Small, Jared Ziegler involved as cars scatter coming out of the S's. Everybody's going to try and get back pointing in the right direction, but man, oh man, what a lot of heavy damage there. And we're going to go back out front. You've still got Russell Soto out front, the number 50 machine. He's got a very comfortable gap over Nick Peterson. About 2.3 seconds separates the current winning driver of the number 50 machine against Peterson in his number 24. We're going to cycle back a little bit further in the field as you've got Hunter Graves trying to make a move on Norman King. He gets it around the outside. Norman will do his best to catch up, but man, what an exciting season, or not a season opener, excuse me, round opener for the feature race. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East in the booth, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second, as my oh my are the guys putting on a show for our very first time calling one of the League Zero events. This is action-packed. You've got 17 drivers starting tonight, and we've already seen several drivers have to make their way to pit lane early on. That's going to be Chase Small, the number 5 machine, Jared Ziegler, the number 57, both having to go to pit lane. Let's see if we can get those machines back out on track. Russell Soto is out front, charging strong, still with a 3.5 second advantage over Nick Peterson. And still a lot of action all across the racetrack here today. You're watching Norman King, number 28. He's being followed by Raymond Aguilar, one of those drivers involved early on. But Norman King, he's going to do his best to try and catch up the traffic in front of him. As right in front of King, you've got Hunter Graves, the number 37 machine, as well as Brad Tritt, the number 26. One of those early drivers that had their fair share of problems early on tonight. But look at that, King getting around Aguilar on the outside line. Not sure if Aguilar is facing a damaged race machine, but they're side by side once more. Man, this is exciting for quite a long race. As these guys refusing to yield. You're watching Chris Moore right now. He's watching the action ahead of him, doing his best. He's got a damaged race car, the number 14. Right ahead of him, you're watching Norman King and Raymond Aguilar battling for position down the backstretch into the S's here at Donington. Just absolutely abusing that transmission, watching that 3-car battle in front of them start to shape up. Again, that's Aguilar, Graves, King, all battling for a spot here. Again, it's 28 laps for this feature race. Only the top 8 will be scoring points, so every position is critical for these drivers in the Chase Championship, doing their best. They've got their individual championship. They've also got the Manufacturers Cup as well. So great to see everybody out here charging strong, but man, look at Hunter Graves putting the pressure on Raymond Aguilar. Oh, there's a moment. That's Chris Smorrell, I believe. Smorrell able to collect himself, hold on to the number 14 machine, but it has been nothing but exciting here tonight. As Smorrell currently 9th place on track, doing his best to catch up to Hunter Graves. He knows he has to get that one additional spot to score any points here today. Up front, you've got Derek Guthier, followed by Ryan Thibault. It is the number 2 and the number 27 running less than a second apart here. You've got the Red Bull of Derek and the very bright red, the number 27 machine, Ryan, doing his best to catch up. We are only on lap 4, but man, oh man, what the excitement we have had here today. Guthier able to extend that gap over Thibault little by little as the laps progress. On lap 1, you can see in the bottom right hand of your screen, there's a 0.675 second gap. He has now extended it to 1.8, so Ryan Thibault, number 27, doing his best to try and catch up. Now, Russell Soto up front may have had some sort of problems as Nick Peterson is gaining a bit of time. Peterson is now only 6.8 seconds back from your race leader, Soto, in the number 50 machine. Soto out here today racing for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, supporting a good cause on and off the track. So always great seeing him out here doing strong and doing well for himself. As a reminder, don't miss any of the action. We'll have a short intermission after this race before we go in tonight's sprint race, which is always bound to be exciting. The sprint race, 14 laps. You invert the top 10 from the feature race, so just because you have a bad race in the feature doesn't mean you don't have a shot at winning the sprint, and it is nothing but action all the way around. We do have a report from pit wall. Jared Ziegler, number 57 machine, is back out on track, finding himself one lap down after repairing his race car It appears Chase Small, the number 5 machine, unable to return to the surface at this point in time. I'm not sure if we're going to get to see him go back out and maybe salvage some points if possible. Anthony Bianchi, the number 17 machine, currently running 11th, has a bit of an upset as well. He had a brief off track, able to collect it. Looks like his race car is not too damaged, but he's got a pack of drivers in front of him as he's chasing John Kasai, Norman King, Chris Morrill, Hunter Graves, all just ahead of him. So as a reminder, only the top 8 drivers are going to score any points here for this feature. You're watching Chris Morrill, the number 14. He's on the bubble right now. Ahead of him, he has Hunter Graves and the number 37, the baby blue car. And behind him, you've got John Kasai and Norman King getting ready to duke it out through the S's. Kasai's been gaining a whole lot of time here using the draft of his competitors in these Formula 3. This is a spec series. Everybody's on the same setups, the same equal footing to make something happen. It is all about drivers and keeping your tires underneath you and keeping a clean race car to the end. Just a little bit of damage early on to the race and you can have a bad night. And right as we say that, Hunter King, the baby blue, he goes off track in front of this pack. That's going to move Kasai. He's in the 9th place spot. He's trying to catch Norman King, who's on the bubble. And they're going to go get very dicey up here. Who's going to be able to hold on to it? All these gentlemen on the absolute ragged edge of traction, trying to put as much power down as they can before those tires break free. And this is not a car for the inattentive driver. Just one mistake and you can rapidly find yourself in trouble. And if you make any wheel-to-wheel on contact with these race machines, it can quickly spell disaster, as we saw early on into the night. You're still watching Norman King trying to fend off the number 3, John Kasai. King currently on the bubble for points. He finds himself 2 seconds back from the next place ahead of him. That's 7th place, Chris Morrill. Kasai getting closer and closer, but look at this pack forming up. That is 5 cars you can throw a blanket over, crossing the start-finish line straight. You're still watching Norman King. He's leading John Kasai into turn 1. King goes off track. Kasai's going to get around. Bianchi gets around. Hunter Graves and Peter Reitinger all get around. So now Antonio Bianchi, he's going to be chasing John Kasai, trying to get up to that bubble spot. So now Kasai is on the bubble for points. We're going a little bit further up front. You got Brad Tritton. He's chasing out Ryan Thabal. Can he make a move on the outside? Now that was Aguilar coming out of nowhere. So Raymond Aguilar, he's involved in one of those early incidents, puts down the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 21.11. Absolutely blistering the number 83 machine. So now it's going to be Aguilar working on the ball. Aguilar, number 83, showing the telltale signs of a rough race so far. He's got to keep his head on his shoulders. It's in a long format race. 28 laps or 45 minutes, whatever comes first. As he is comfortably in 4th, but he is chasing that podium spot, trying to chase down the ball. And all these drivers doing a fantastic job. Some very clean racing, but when things go wrong for these drivers, it goes wrong very, very quickly. Behind Aguilar, you got Brad Tritton, number 26 machine, doing his best to get back up. Tritton is currently down 3 spots from where he started tonight. but starting to make a little bit of moves here. He's going to try and catch that draft of Aguilar and Thibault up in front of him. Behind Trent, you've got Derek Guthier, the number 2 machine. Now look at this battle. You've got Aguilar and Thibault. They're going to go side by side. Who's going to outbreak who? It looks like Aguilar is going to have the advantage. That's also going to allow Brad Tritton to put his nose in the mix. The very hard turn 12, the left-hander, Goddard's corner. All these guys, especially once the tires are getting a little bit warmed up underneath them, they're looking better and better and getting faster and faster. As you can see that Ryan Thibault has whittled away at that gap at Raymond Aguilar, getting closer and closer to him as the race progresses. He was 3.8 seconds back on lap 4. He's got it down to less than a half-second gap, but look at that, Brad Tritton. He goes off track for a moment. All these guys at the absolute limit of traction at their disposal. They're going to use every single bit of it. As Brad Tritton, the number 26 machine, going to do his best to work on the ball. Oh, that is dicey in the S's. This Tritton is getting very, very close to the tail end of the number 27. Doing his best to get up there and make something happen. And just like that, he's able to get around it. The ball yields the outside position. Man, what a show these guys are putting on. I've got to say, for my first time broadcasting one of the League Zero's events, these guys are putting on a fantastic show out here today. Now, Thibault, he had a great race last week at Hockenheim, but unfortunately it was short-lived after he had a tangle with Diogo Dettenford. Soto was able to take over the lead and dominate the race after that, bringing home his 3rd win of the season. So nothing but excitement from first to back. Speaking of Russell Soto, he's out front just clicking off laps here. His last time by was a 1 minute 21.13. He's about 0.2 of a second off the fastest lap of the race, which is owned by Raymond Aguilar, the number 83 machine. But right now, Soto doesn't have to push too hard or too aggressively, as he is 13 seconds ahead of Nick Peterson in 2nd place. Peterson with clean air all the way around him. He's got about a 13-second disadvantage to Russell Soto, your race leader, but he also has a 6-second advantage to Raymond Aguilar, who is sitting in 3rd. So he's feeling very confident at this point, able to sit here, click off some laps. Now, we did have a little bit of silly season stuff going on here recently. Chris Morrill, currently on camera, the number 14 machine. He signed on with Avanti for a 1-season deal. So Avanti's team lineup now consists of Levi Opitz as the primary driver, and Smorrell is the secondary driver for the role. Now, Opitz not having the race that he wanted tonight. You can find him back in 14th place, representing the number 7 machine. And having a little bit of internet problems there. It's commentator's curse at its finest. So unfortunately, Opitz not having the race that he wanted here tonight. Smorrell racing with a new team, doing a fantastic job. He is up 10 positions in the number 14 machine. Now you've got the battle for 8th as Antonio Bianchi, he looks to the inside against John Kasai. They're going to be side by side coming out of the corners. A bit of a drag race here. Going into the right-hander, then the left. Let's see who's going to have the advantage. It looks like Kasai may be able to squeeze him off, coming out of the start-finish line straight. He is. Bianchi's going to bring it into pit lane. We still have a whole lot of racing left to go as we just now start lap 13. You've got Soto out front with a commanding lead. He drops the fastest lap of the race with a dominant 1 minute 20.99. About 0.2 of a second faster than any competitor has been able to put down so far. Just clicking them off, feeling good this late into the run. So to your race leader, he has been able to extend that lead to 15 seconds. And he will have lap traffic to contend with. That's Antonio Bianchi coming out of the pits in the number 17 machine, as well as Peter Rettinger. Soto's going to get around Rettinger, no problem. And now he's going to start working his way up to Antonio, about 15 seconds ahead of him, but Soto is just clicking him off a 1 minute 20.95 his last time by. Soto getting in a groove, feeling very, very comfortable here and getting faster and faster as he gets out there. Now Soto, he is your current points leader with just ahead of Brad Tritton. Soto has 124 points compared to Tritton's 109, so Tritton finds himself at a 15-point disadvantage. So that's SB Grand Prix and Team Oversteer currently running 1 and 2. Then you've got Raymond Aguilar third in points with Track Limit Racing, doing his best to get up there. Antonio Bianchi, after a late pit, he's coming out, getting things fixed out. We are showing Nick Peterson with a big incident. Let's try and grab a replay for you. Looks like it's just a very, very hard crash, and the S has gotten too much on the inside, sent the number 24 careening and absolutely drills the wall, ruining the number 24 machine. So he's going to try and limp it back to pit lane here. Nick Peterson not having the night he wanted here today. He's going to limp the number 24 machine into pit lane as the front wing completely removed from that race car. Hate to see it for the driver. All of these guys are so talented and experienced, but it just takes one moment and you can find yourself in big, big trouble. Look at the lap time history between Soto and Aguilar. Aguilar currently in second, 20 seconds back. And what do we have going on there? We had a little bit of smoke. I believe that's going to be Gareth McAllister with a big moment. McAllister, number 25 machine. He was already a lap down, just not having a great night tonight in number 25. He's going to wait for a safe place to rejoin the raceway and get back out there. But it has been calamity out here at the League Zero event at Donington. Derek Guthier, he's up 2 spots so far in the number 2 machine. He's trying to catch Ryan Zabald, who's about a straightaway in front of him. That's about what 7.2 seconds looks like here at Donington. But he's got to keep an eye out as well. Chris Smorrell is making moves. Smorrell's up 11 spots so far tonight in the number 14 machine. He's about 3.6 seconds back from Guthier in the number 2 machine. Smorrell, well-rounded individuals. It could be ovals, it could be Formula 3 cars. He's usually quick in everything he sets foot in. So great to see all these talented drivers racing in multiple disciplines throughout the week. Everyone here at League Zero is friends on and off the track, and they always have a great time. Chris Morrow is going to show us the fast way through the S's, doing his best not to hit any of those track limits at risk of damaging the aero on that very fragile F3 machine. Levi Opitz unfortunately having a very rough night coming out of the red gate corner, the Goddard's corner, that very sharp left-hander. He's going to bring it into pit lane once more, but just not having the night that he really wanted here today. Chris Morrow, once again, he's about 4.85 seconds back from 5th place, Derek Guthier, but he is in the points here. Norman King currently running 8th. He's on the bubble for the points, as Russell Soto, the man of the hour, just absolutely checking out tonight. He's got a 24-second gap over Raymond Aguilar, who's about to have company. Watch him go into the S's. There's Aguilar. Here comes Trenton trying to make something happen just on the right side of your screen. Trenton driving the wheels off the number 26. He's about 2.2 seconds back from 2nd place Aguilar, doing his best to catch up and make something happen. And like a tiger stalking his prey, Trenton hard out of Goddard's corner down the backstretch. He can see Aguilar just in front of him. And let me tell you, as a racer, that makes it just a little bit easier to go a little bit faster, knowing that carrot is right there in front of you. We only have 10 laps left in this feature race. We had 17 cars start tonight, and we still, I believe, have 17 on track. Hunter Graves is in the pit, Nick Peterson is in the pit, but everybody using some repairs, and there goes Trenton, overcooking it, and he's going to see that gap to Raymond Aguilar rapidly extend as they get ready to go into the S's here at Donington. So it was once a 2.2 second gap, now 5.6 seconds. Russell Soto comes in for his pit cycle on lap 19. I'm not sure if he had to get some repairs done or tires or what may be going on with the number 50, but he does have a very comfortable lead. As Raymond Aguilar is going to try and put down some laps and see if they can get around the previous race leader, Russell Soto. Soto coming out of pits just ahead of you on screen. It is down to a 3.2 second gap. Aguilar is going to drive hard here. Only 9 laps remaining in today's feature race. Now Soto's best lap time of the race, a 1 minute 20.83. Aguilar with a 1 minute 21.01. And Aguilar, if there was ever a time for him to drive the wheels off the number 83 machine, that time is now, as he is doing his best to catch Soto with a 3.3 second gap ahead of him. Aguilar doing his best to put down better sector times than Soto out here today. Soto seems to be finding a little bit more speed. He's extended that gap to 3.8 seconds over 2nd place Raymond Aguilar. Aguilar is going to do his one and only pit stop here tonight that allows Soto to get further back out front and click off some laps with Soto and the number 50 machine. It has been his race so far tonight in the feature, as he is charging hard and the number 50 machine making very few mistakes, if any, and that is what's going to bring you a championship here for the League Zero F3 League. It is a game of consistency. Fast laps are fantastic, but if you can't string them together in a great long run, it does nothing for you. But Soto's showing us how to do it, as we're looking forward to seeing what his next time is. He gets around Chase Small, who had an off-track moment. Chase Small currently running 16th in the number 5 machine. He's down 11 spots from where he started tonight. having a very frustrating evening, but getting back out there and just hoping he can try and salvage something out of tonight's race. Again, the top 8 get points for the feature, and then we invert the top 10 for the sprint race, which is, again, only 14 laps. It is going to be very, very exciting. It's scheduled with a 30-minute maximum time. These guys usually hit the lap counter way before they hit the time limit. And although we call this the feature event, the longer format, it is still wide open for all of these competitors, usually a one-stop run. As you see, most of the drivers coming around that lap 18-19 range. It's Soto out front, Gutierrez second, Tritton third, Aguilar fourth, DeBalt fifth, Bianchi sixth, Smorrell seventh, and Kasai is in 8th on the bubble spot. You see Kasai, number 3 machine, he's chasing Chris Smorrell in his number 14 car. Less than 2 seconds that separates these drivers. Now Kasai's got to feel pretty comfortable here. He's already done his box for the race. He's in the points, able to score at least 1 point if he can finish right where he is, but he sees Chris Smorrell, the number 14 machine, in front of him. And he knows, hey, if I can just get one more spot, that's a little bit more points to help out my team. As Chris Smorrell has a big moment. Smorrell spins it, I think, coming out of Goddard's. I looked like he was going for a pit stop, but no, he just lost car control. That allowed Kasai to get by for that 7th place spot. Smorrell moves back to 8th. He still has a 6-second gap over Hunter Graves, number 37 machine, but he is on the bubble here tonight to try and score some points because Hunter Graves is going to be charging fast. He's talking to his crew chief back in the pits. He knows, hey, there's something going on ahead of you. You might have a shot of scoring some points here tonight. Derek Gutierrez, he's chasing down Antonio Bianchi, the number 17 machine. That will be your battle for 5th, about to shape up as they head into the S's. Gutierrez is about 1.7 seconds back from number 17, Antonio Bianchi. Bianchi, one of our favorite fast Canadians out on track, an absolute joy to talk to him while we're all hanging out with the drivers in their garage area. They always provide your favorite broadcaster a little bit of wisdom of what's going on. They tell us what things to look forward to, what's going to be points of interest, and things to keep an eye on. Another off-track moment, that is Marshall Newton. Brad Tritt, number 26 machine, he's 30 seconds back from your race leader, Russell Soto, who has been the dominant car so far tonight in the number 50 machine. But Tritton is just keeping his head down, clicking off some laps. He's 2nd place right now, and he's got to be happy, number 26 machine. After so much carnage we've seen here tonight, just how successful he still is. His number 26 machine, the Virgin Mobile car, looking absolutely spectacular. He has his head down and just clicking them off behind him. Raymond Aguilar is 6.2 seconds back, but closing relatively quickly. I'm not sure if Aguilar is going to have enough time here left with 5 laps to go to whittle away at that gap of Brad Tritton's number 26. Aguilar, his last time by 1 minute 24.19. Let's see what it updates here as. Aguilar does a 1 minute 21.83 compared to Tritton's 1 minute 21.65. So I don't know if the driver of the number 83 machine is going to have enough time here to catch up to 2nd place and make something happen, or if he's going to be happy with the podium here tonight and being able to finish 3rd. The laps are rapidly coming to the end. Only 5 laps left for these competitors, and things are still getting shaken up across the field. Chris Smorrell, he's in 8th place. He's the driver on the bubble in the number 14 in that points position, that last points paying position. Smorrell is quite a comfortable gap ahead of Hunter Graves. He's about 5 seconds ahead. So the only thing that Smorrell has to do right now is keep his head down, keep it clean, and maybe try and bring it home here to the end. Raymond Aguilar absolutely charging through the S's. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to take a lap on board with Russell Soto and let you hear and see what fast is like. as we get ready for Soto to come to the start-finish line. So it's still Soto out front, Trenton second, Aguilar third, Thibault fourth, Bianchi fifth, Gutierrez sixth, Kasai seventh, and Smorrell eighth in tonight's feature race. These guys have been putting on an absolute clinic here today. Everybody charging very, very hard and maintaining speed all the way around. We're going to let you take one lap on board with Russell Soto, the number 50 machine, who's been the dominant driver all night long. That was your race leader, Russell Soto, the number 50 machine, putting on a dominant performance so far tonight. He's got about a 30-second lead over second place Brad Trenton. Now watch this. Here's Ryan Thibault, number 27 machine, just at the bottom of your frame, coming into focus. Antonio Bianchi trying to whittle away at that 2-second gap with not a whole lot of laps left to go. These drivers about to start their 27th lap out of 28. Will we see Bianchi try and make something happen here? He's going to try and catch a toe from Thibault, number 27 machine. They're going around Goddard's corner out in the start-finish line straight. We'll take a look at the lap times here. Thibault with a 1 minute 22.21. Bianchi with a 1 minute 21.48. He may be able to make something happen here. I'm not rightly sure. It's still a 2.12 second gap between the fourth place, number 27, and the fifth place, 17. Both these drivers looking good for the sprint race, the upcoming sprint race where they invert the grid. That means they'll be still starting about the middle of the top 10 no matter where they finish between themselves. As again, we invert the top 10 for the sprint race. These guys are clicking off laps. These guys are clicking off laps, doing their best to make something happen. Not a lot of time left for a lot of these drivers as they're going to be trying to chase those championship points. Bianchi has whittled away that gap to Thibault. It's down to 1.5 seconds coming out at the start-finish line straight. But are they going to have enough time to do anything different here? Or is Bianchi going to have to settle for that fifth place spot? He sees the ball right in front of number 27 machine. Neither driver wanted to make any mistakes at this point. And just doing their best to keep the race clean and make it out to the end. You can see that gap whittling away. It's now 1.4 seconds. The ball doing his best to click off some of the best laps of his life as the white flag comes out for Soto. It's the battle for fourth on screen right now. It's Bianchi trying to chase down Thibault's number 27 machine. Both drivers will be at their absolute limits heading into the S's. But let's see what's going to happen. That gap's down to 0.8 seconds. Bianchi getting in the draft, trying to reel in the number 27 machine. Not sure if Bianchi's going to have enough time to do it. They're going to take their white flag lap. That gives you an idea of just how ahead Russell Soto, number 50 machine, truly is right now. Soto, for the final time tonight, is getting ready to come through Goddard's, that sharp left-hander, before he takes the victory here at Donington. There's lap traffic everywhere, all drivers being extremely respectful, giving everybody plenty of room, especially the leaders coming by. And Russell Soto, the number 50 machine, is going to win the feature race here at Donington. On screen, that's Raymond Aguilar. He's third place. He's following Brad Tritton, currently in second through the S's. Just unfortunately not going to have enough time to catch Tritton, but doing a great job securing that third place spot, barring any final incidents. And let's see here, both of these drivers are going to bring it across the start-finish line for the final time. There's lap traffic, avoiding the race leaders the best way they know how. And that is how we're going to call it. It's going to be Soto up front, Tritton second, Aguilar third here tonight. A great race from all of our drivers here tonight. We're going to have a quick intermission, and then we are going to go to the sprint race for the League Zero Formula 3 event. Don't go anywhere. You do not want to miss any of the action, as it is guaranteed to be a good one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting ready to take to the track for tonight's sprint race. It's a reverse top 10 grid. You've got Peter Redinger starting up front, Norman King second, Chris Morrill third, Derek Gunther will be fourth, John Kasai fifth, Antonio Bianchi starting sixth, Ryan Thibault starting seventh, Raymond Aguilar starting eighth, Brad Tritton starting ninth, Russell Soto starting 10th, Hunter Graves 11th, Marshall Newton 12th, Jared Ziegler 13th, Levi Opitz 14th, Gareth McAllister 15th, Chase Small 16th, Nick Peterson 17th, and away we go. It is a short sprint race here tonight, as all of these guys are going to be hammering down as fast as they possibly can, trying to click off some good fast laps if they can at all help it. As man, oh man, this is about to be an exciting night for everybody. You're watching Raymond Aguilar. He's battling hard for that third place spot. Again, it's only 14 laps. We've inverted the grid from the feature event here at Donington. And all of these guys are going to be going as fast as they possibly can. Not a lot of time to make up some ground, as it is only the top 10 that will be scoring points here today. There's a whole lot of bumping and grinding going on towards the middle of the field. You've got Raymond Aguilar who's worked his way up front. Derek Gutierrez second, John Kasai third, and look at the action going on. You're watching Jared Ziegler right now. He's trying to move up in number 57 machine. You can try and go around the outside of Antonio Bianchi into the S's here at Donington. Bianchi goes for a big ride. He's going to go sliding into the gravel trap. It looks like the car is going to be relatively unscathed. But things just keep getting spicier and dicier. As now you're watching Russell Soto. He's trying to track down Derek Gutierrez and John Kasai. They're side by side in front of him, dropping back down single file. That's going to allow Raymond Aguilar to get a little bit of time to breathe here. As Soto, it keeps going. John Kasai goes around. Coming out of Goddard's, he's going to have to wait for traffic to come by. With such a short format race, not a lot of time for air. So Ziegler, the number 57 machine, he's going to move up to that fourth place spot. As there's more carnage, that's Gutierrez. He goes off the inside of the track. The number 2 machine, he has problems. Nothing but calamity the opening lap of tonight's race. And man, what a show all these guys are putting on. It has been nothing but excitement early on. We're only on the second lap here for the sprint. Raymond Aguilar pretty comfortably up front with a 3-second gap behind him. Russell Soto, who's currently being tracked by our cameras. Jared Ziegler, he's in third. He's up 6 spots so far. Right now, your hard charger's got to be Hunter Graves, number 37 machine. The black and baby blue, number 37, he's chasing Chase Small in the number 5. Graves trying to catch up to Small right in front of him. Not a lot of laps left to make anything happen. Such a short format that breeds excitement by design. As they come out of Goddard's to the start-finish line straight, Aguilar was still with a comfortable lead. Soto second, Ziegler third, Small fourth, and Graves will round out our top 5. The top 10 drivers here in the sprint race scoring some much-needed points. And what an evening of excitement has been for our first time broadcasting the League Zero Formula 3 series. A lot of very talented drivers absolutely hucking around some very fast race cars. Let's look at that. That's Ziegler, number 57. He has a big moment. He goes on the outside of the track, able to regain his composure, but that's going to allow Chase Small, the number 5 machine, to get that gap down to 1.3 seconds as Ziegler tries to burn off the dirt and gravel stuck to those very hot tires. It can take a couple of corners to get off all the debris from those tires. As you're watching Small trying to chase Ziegler, he is being chased by Hunter Graves, number 37, as well as Ryan Thibault, the number 27 machine. Small has a 1-second disadvantage to Ziegler, the number 57. Small also has Graves 1.2 seconds back as they goes into Redgate, the very hard right-hander at the start, the end of our start-finish line straight. And oh, Small is getting dangerously close to track limits, dropping those left side tires in the gravel. He has to be very, very careful there. While he is able to carry a little bit more speed, extending the race surface, as we like to call it. Just a little bit too much gas. While those wheels are not fully seated on the racing tarmac, you can find yourself in big, big trouble. Graves currently at 5th. He has worked his way up to less than half a second behind Small. Again, these drivers were inverted in their grid. They're having to battle hard. Now, who's not having any problems here? Russell Soto getting back out front, charging hard. He's up to 2nd place. Chase Small currently has Hunter Graves in tow, trying to catch up and make something happen. In front of him, you've got Jared Ziegler, number 57 machine. Ziegler currently in 3rd. He's up 6 spots so far from where he started. And charging very, very hard into turn 1. Such a fantastic camera, shows you, and more importantly, lets you listen to how hard these drivers are just abusing the transmissions, trying to squeeze every ounce of power and carry as much speed. This class is all about momentum, trying to go as fast as you possibly can, keep the car in the revs. Only 9 laps remaining for our competitors out here today. Chase Small has whittled away that gap just a little bit. He's down to 0.85 seconds behind Ziegler, the number 57 machine currently running 3rd as the cloud cover comes out here at Donington. Aguilar still out front. He's being chased by the feature race winner, Russell Soto, who had to start all the way back in 10th tonight. Soto, his last time by, puts down the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 21.22, compared to Aguilar with a 1 minute 22 flat. So we know Soto has the pace. He has to be very, very careful. If he is going to make a move on Aguilar early on to the race, they are not quite to the halfway mark yet, to avoid damaging his race car, as we've seen all sorts of problems all night long from our competitors. A lot of very talented racers just not having the luck they wanted at Donington, but Aguilar and Soto have definitely been the exclusion to that fact, as Aguilar is getting a little bit faster. He does a 1 minute 21.53 his last time by. Soto clicks off another 1 minute 21.15, so both of these guys are getting faster. The question is Aguilar with a 1 second lead going to be able to figure it out in time to fend off Soto, the number 50 machine, to try and get his first win here at Donington, or is Soto going to be able to come up and make something happen? Soto is stalking Aguilar. It's down to 9.9 seconds to the race leader, Aguilar. Soto getting closer and closer here. Are we going to see a move out of the number 50? And if so, when is going to be the optimal time to make a pass? Soto does another fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 20.94. He's only 0.4 of a second off race leader Raymond Aguilar. You can see on the right side of your screen just how much time Soto's been able to make on your race leader, Raymond Aguilar. Soto, he's just under 0.4 of a second and getting faster. He's now it's at 0.3 of a second. Gets a great run. Will Aguilar going to be able to defend going into the S's? Are we going to see a move from Aguilar to Soto? Soto carrying so much speed out of the S's. It's at 0.2 and closing. Soto dives to the inside of Aguilar. Aguilar does not do anything overly aggressive to try and defend. what great racing from both these competitors, putting on an absolute showing here today and showing why they are some of the most talented drivers here in the League Zero Formula 3 Racing Series, the premier F3 series on the iRacing official service. Russell has clean. Russell in the number 50 has clean track ahead of him, able to put down some laps here. You may see him extend that gap on Aguilar. Will Aguilar be able to answer number 50's dominant performance here tonight? Or will Soto be able to check out like he did in our feature race with such a commanding lead? Aguilar staying very well in tow. He's about 0.3 of a second off, less than that now as they're about 0.2 going down the straightaway into the S's. Aguilar takes a peek to the inside, going to the S's, thinking, no, this is not a great place to pass. They're going to come down the short straightaway into the Melbourne hairpin. Aguilar looks from the inside, same place Soto is able to get around. Soto drives a very, very tight inside line, kills off the momentum of the 83, gets a bit better drive here before going into turn 12. Aguilar all over the rear bumper, doing his best to get up there. He wants to make something happen. Soto able to extend his lead to 1 second. He may have been able to shake off number 83 just long enough to get a breather and get some clean air and not have the draft as effective down the tight sections of the racetrack. We know just how important that draft can be here on the longer straightaways, but look at that, Soto absolutely hanging it out. Aguilar doing everything in his power, but has a bit of a moment, checks up just enough that's going to kill his momentum just slightly as Soto extends it. Oh no, Aguilar with another moment. Aguilar starting to drive like a man who may be a little bit frustrated and not able to carry that momentum, starts making a couple of mistakes and compounding. That's going to allow Soto to get a 2-second gap. Both these competitors were doing almost identical lap times their last time by, but now Soto has extended that gap to 2.1 seconds. We're going to take you back further in the field. This is your battle for fourth. You've got Brad Tritton trying to hold off Hunter Graves, number 37 machine. Tritton currently in fourth. He's got about a 4.3 second disadvantage to Jared Ziegler's number 57, who is running third right now, and only 4 laps remaining left in the race. Peter Renger, he's trying to get in the mix as well, currently running 6th in the number 44. He can see Hunter Graves and Tritton just in front of him, and if Tritton and Graves start battling back and forth, they may be able to slow up the pace enough for Renger to get his nose in the mix. Number 44 machine wants to get up there, wants to get in podium contention. Boy, that is a very, very tough feat here at the League Zero Formula 3 League, as everyone is so talented. It is a battle of hundredths of a second for most of the way around the racetrack. Got Hunter Graves still chasing Brad Tritton for that 4th place battle. Behind Graves, Renger and Bianchi starting to get in range as well. 3 laps left in the sprint race. Not a whole lot of time for our competitors. Are we going to see any final ditch moves? Everybody willing to stretch it out? They know, hey, everything is on the line here. The other thing to consider, all these drivers in the top 10, very, very smart, very, very safe. Look at this, a nice 3-car pack. Ryan Thibault, Derek Gouthier, Chase Small, all trying to catch up to Ryan. Oh no! Chase Small absolutely sent it off the track into the gravel. As well as Thibault, both having big moments. Allow Bianchi to move up into the 7th place spot pretty much well and uncontested. He has a 1.7 second gap over Derek Gutierrez, who's on the right side of your screen, and he's about 1.9 seconds back from Peter Rettinger, currently running 6th. All these guys in good condition. We had 17 drivers start, and we've only got 14, and no, Antonio, no, he goes off track. That is going to allow Derek Gutierrez to take over that 7th place spot from the number 17. But 17 drivers started, 14 drivers still out on track as it stands. So 14 drivers all battling for those top 10 spots, trying to score some points. As Antonio Bianchi is chasing Derek Gutierrez's number 2 machine. That's the battle for 7th on screen right now. But not many laps left in tonight's sprint race. Both Derek Gutierrez and Antonio really stretching that track limit there. We talked about it earlier. Once you get those left tires too far off the track, you can find yourself in quite the spin very quickly. Ooh, as Antonio really extends the racetrack there, going off track, almost completed the number 17 machine. No harm, no foul. Did not lose a whole lot of time behind Gutierrez number 2. Antonio driving like a man possessed, doing his best to catch the number 2 machine. Every point matters here for the championship. So while Antonio is in the top 10, he wants to best that and try and get up a little bit further into the point standings. A 7th, a 6th, anything above 8th place would really help out his championship chase as he gets quite the run on Gutierrez. Let's see if he makes a pass. He tries the outside. We saw this same move between Soto and Aguilar early on in the race. Not quite able to make it stick, and what these drivers have to be careful of is not ruining their momentum. Gonna come out of turn 12 on the start-finish line straight. Looks like Gutierrez able to carry a little bit more speed out of the 12th corner down the start-finish line straight. Let's see what goes into 1. Antonio has been strong on the brakes all night, although we did see him in a precarious moment going off track in 1 earlier on tonight. Let's see what the driver can do. Up front, you still have Soto with a commanding lead over Raymond Aguilar. Ziegler 3rd, Brad Tritton 4th, Peter Rettinger 5th, Hunter Graves 6th, Derek Gutierrez in 7th, Antonio Bianchi 8th, Chase Small 9th, Ryan Thabal 10th in the final point spot. And look at that move! As Antonio goes the inside, like Gutierrez tried to make the outside line happen, and Gutierrez goes off track, so Antonio will take over the 7th place spot here tonight. Go a little bit further back, you've got Ryan Thabalt. He's still trying to chase his way back up front. And speaking of chase, he's chasing Chase Small in the number 5 machine. Less than a quarter of a second separates our 2 competitors. This is the battle for 9th on track right now. So both of these drivers are in the points, but the white flag is already out. As Hunter Graves has finally caught up to Peter Rettinger. He has 1 lap left to make it happen. Graves looks like he did not have the drive out of the corner that he wanted, allowing Rettinger to get a little bit of a moment to breathe. As number 37 really had to check up. He finds himself at a 1-second disadvantage to 5th place Rettinger. All of these drivers doing such a fantastic job here tonight, putting on quite the show. But it has all been the Russell Soto show. The number 50, he won the feature race with the inverted grid. He's going to go back up front and make it back-to-back. His last time by was his fastest of the race, a 1 minute 20.64. And what a spectacular race from all of our competitors. Aguilar will be finishing 2nd. And then Jared Ziegler is going to bring it home in 3rd, just ahead of Brad Tritton. Man, what a fantastic race from all these competitors tonight. That was quite the showing, as nothing but action here at the League Zero Formula 3 Series. We're going to take a quick look at the results. As always, we'd like to thank the guys over at LeagueZero.net for putting on this show for all of our performers out there tonight. A bunch of spectacular racers hanging out on the line. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, I'm James East. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. We'll be here same time, same place, as we get ready to go into the next round as the championship is all but decided. Have a great night, everyone.